let's talk about the Persian version, which took home the U.S. Dramatic Audience Award. I think a lot of us were surprised by that because it's a category that has films like Theater Camp in it, films like Maggots and Dreams in it, films that got a lot of hype. This film was a lot more understated, at least, in terms of Twitter reactions, Letterboxd reactions, but it didn't just pick up an audience award. It picked up the Waldo Salt Screenwriting Award as well. The Persian version is about a large Iranian-American family that gathers for the patriarch's heart transplant when a family secret is uncovered and they dive into the family's past. Amanda, what did you think about the Persian version?
It feels like it should have been a mini-series. There's so much random stuff going on in this that it starts one direction, pivots to like 3 other ones by the time the movie's done. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it ends up feeling too long, whereas if they had taken if this has just been I don't know, like a 4 or 5 episode miniseries, it probably would have been able to keep that energy up where it needed to be. This is another one. I have to assume that this is kind of a reflection of the director's life. Yeah.
Feels very autobiographical.
Yeah, it feels very autobiographical, and some of it's really fun for that, and then some of it I was like, oh, what are you doing? No, why? I don't like that. But it's got a lot of flair. It's got a lot of interesting dynamic of what it's like to be born in one country that is very Muslim, very traditional, but then also being in America, where it's like the polar opposite, and kind of growing up in an era.
She talks about not being. She talks about not being Iranian enough for Iranians, but not being
American enough for Americans.
Iranian enough, then whatever.
Yeah, so it's like one of those that disconnect and that split, and how that affects kind of like how you grow up, and then
I liked it.
I did. No,
I know.
I do like it.
I was telling this to Zach. I was like, it's one of those movies where you have someone really trying to tell their story. Mm-hmm. They may not have the greatest costume designers, cinematographers, and editors on hand, or someone who could really trim the story down a bit. They won awards, so I don't know. I guess they're doing something right. But I liked the heart that was in there. I liked the relationship between the mother and the daughter, seeing the reflections of themselves in it. But there are some over the top stuff. Like there's a partner in the movie. Yeah, I ain't care for it.
That's what I mean.
I'm here. I'll defend parts of the movie, but that was so it was borderline stupid.
I know. Did it have to be real?
It has to have been real.
But then that's even more confusing. Like, what do you mean you did that? How did that even happen?
But just in terms of that story of immigrant parents and their children taking on that mantle, it was decent enough, but nowhere compared to something like Joyland or the other movies that we had. But I'm not upset that it won. It's just one of those where you feel bad where it's like, this is the worst thing that could have happened to the movie.
Right.
Yeah. That's fair.
I don't know. To me, I felt like it was really all over the place. Like, even the narrative momentum, I felt like I had trouble getting in with it because it just
everything everywhere all at once? Do you worry that that's going to be the new thing? Not just being able to hop on to different things?
I do think so, because it's not easy to shift tones that that quickly in a film, and especially jumping back and forth through time like that. It's a little it's a little... Which story are you trying to tell? And I didn't feel like they were focused in enough on one story. They were just trying to pack in a lot of stuff.
Trying to do them both, but I see what you mean. Like, they didn't land it perfectly for it, but I see what they were going for. Yeah. So the script, I guess, makes sense. They must have had a really good script.
Yeah.
But we'll see.